For how long can you stay at home? 1 month? 3 months? 6 months? An entire year maybe? How about 654 days? Can you stay at home for almost 2 years? Most of us would reach a breaking point if we remain locked up for that long. But not Xi Jinping. He seems to prefer self-isolation. He hasn't left China for 654 days now, 1 year, 9 months and 15 days to be exact. China has gone back to work, but not its president. He still prefers to work from home. The United Nations met in September. Xi Jinping wasn't there. The G20 summit happened last weekend. Xi Jinping joined on video call. The COP26 summit is on in Glasgow. Xi Jinping isn't there either. He's missing every global engagement. Why doesn't the Chinese president want to leave Beijing? Why is he hiding from the world? What is he trying to avoid? His absence is fueling speculation. Is there a health scare? Is someone challenging his grip on power? Is he embarrassed to face the world? These questions are being asked, and for good reason. You see, before the pandemic, Xi Jinping had built up a facade. He'd positioned himself as the guardian of a multinational order. It was hard to believe, but that's what he tried to do. But the Wuhan virus has destroyed all of that. It has killed his international image. On Gravitas tonight, we'll tell you how Xi Jinping went from being a globalization icon to an international pariah. We'll start with a billion-dollar question. Why is Xi Jinping not leaving China? Like always, China won't tell. Some say Xi Jinping does not want to travel because of the pandemic, and that's the most obvious excuse, also an excuse that nobody is buying. Now, the thing about truth is that it finds a way to come out. Even the great Chinese firewall cannot block it forever. Look at this report, the one on your screen. It suggests that all is not well in Beijing. It says the Communist Party is dealing with two problems. Problem number one is the president's health, apparently. Chinese officials, according to this report, are quote-unquote preoccupied with protecting Xi Jinping's health. What does that mean? Does it mean that the president is not keeping well? Well, the report does not specify, and we cannot independently verify. But if that's the case, if his health is a concern, Xi Jinping is in for some tough times ahead. His position as president could be challenged, and that's problem number two, internal party politics and a lot of it. Next year, you see, is critical for Xi Jinping. He wants to extend his tenure as president for 5 more years. Remember, he got rid of term limits for Chinese presidents. So now he can have as many terms as he wants, but he will still need a seal of approval. And that is going to happen next year, if all goes well for him. This month, there is an important meeting. A summit of the Central Committee of the Communist Party. That's the top decision-making body of China's ruling party. They're expected to discuss a resolution that will cement Xi Jinping's authority and legacy further. So far, so good. But China's domestic troubles could derail this celebration and a lot of his plans. The Wuhan virus is raging in China again. Last week, 11 provinces were reporting fresh cases. The real estate sector is imploding. We've been reporting on this. So far, at least 5 developers have defaulted. They have missed payments worth billions of dollars. The debt bomb in China is exploding, one default at a time. Plus, China faces an energy crunch. Amid power outages, petrol prices have shot up in the country. All of these problems have handicapped Xi Jinping. They're forcing him to look inwards. And for the Chinese president, that's the only option at the moment. Even if he wants to step outside, not many countries are willing to extend a grand welcome to him. And Xi Jinping wants nothing less than that. The Chinese president wants the red carpet to be rolled out. He wants to address parliaments. He wants the royal treatment wherever he goes. And I'm not the one saying it. That's what former Western diplomats have told an American newspaper. These are people who organized Xi Jinping's visits in the past, and they say that these are his expectations. Well, he'll have to lower them now. The world no longer trusts China. Survey after survey proves that people around the world view China unfavorably. They view Beijing as the aggressor in conflicts. They label the Communist Party as the enemy. So traveling outside China will only invite more trouble for Xi Jinping. He'll be greeted with protests. He's going to face tough questions from his counterparts about the origins of the pandemic, the human rights abuses in Xinjiang, the crackdown in Hong Kong, the military tensions with India and Taiwan. All of it is going to be brought up. And a lot of these problems are not new. But in the past, China was able to buy the silence of the world. It waives its checkbook and it gets rid of difficult questions. Well, that may not happen anymore. The Chinese economy is no longer an engine of global growth. It is tanking. Economists say China is going through stagflation. That's stagnation plus inflation, stagflation. It means economic growth in China has stagnated or slowed, unemployment is growing, and inflation is rising. So Xi Jinping is embattled at home and isolated abroad, and all of this means one thing. His position as a leader is weakening. He might be able to hold on to power. The question is, for how long? WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.